Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your September 2018 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today and welcome to any newcomers. Thank you for all those of you who continue to follow my YouTube channel and like and share and subscribe. And thank you to all of my clients out there, both regular and new, for keeping me so busy with personal readings. And as most of you who follow me know, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can get more information and my contact details by either clicking on the description bar of any of the videos I post, or you can go to my YouTube channel's homepage and click on the little About button there. You can email me directly at maggie1mcguire@gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. I can usually get back to you within the same day or the first 24 hours of your initial contact. And scheduling for personal one-on-one readings, either live or recorded, can be anywhere from a few days upwards of a couple of weeks, but almost always within a 2-week period of time or so we can set up a reading for you. So shoot me an email if you're interested and we will go from there. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life. You can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy. That link is also provided. That's good for quick answers to the easy, simple questions. So let's move right into this. This reading is for the Earth sign of Capricorn for September 2018. Remember that general readings always resonate a little differently for everybody who watches. So if you know your rising and your moon sign, watch those videos as well, because sometimes they can resonate a little more predictably for you and they can give additional insight and clarification too. Okay, Capricorn, let's see what's in store for you for September 2018. We begin with the High Priestess, followed by the Fool. We have the Ten of Pentacles, followed by the Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles, followed by the Four of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups, followed by the Two of Cups. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall focus, energy, and guidance for the month of September 2018 is the Four of Swords. Well, Capricorn, you are an Earth sign, and you have a lot of Earth energy in your month for September. Because you have a lot of pentacles. You have 4 pentacles here, 2 cups, 1 swords, and 2 major arcana cards. So pentacles is earth energy. That's the element which governs the suit of pentacles. And so it usually manifests in the earthly, concrete, practical areas of our life, often with things that we can see and touch and feel, like money, finances, property, real estate, efforts, assets, job, or, the work that we put into our life. Whatever that work might be. So there's a lot of, feels like there's a lot of focus there. It looks like a lot of you are working hard and that some of you, if not a lot of you, may be feeling a bit tired because your crowning card from the bottom of the deck, representing the overall energy and guidance for the month, is the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords is a card of rest, respite, restoration. It's a card of needing to take a step back because it can be taking a step back from a conflict of some kind or a challenge or something that you've been working hard on, if not an actual battle. You can see that this soldier has taken his helmet off and his hand gauntlets to rest. He's taking a temporary reprieve. And I say temporary because I always feel like he's going back into something unless he makes up his mind while he's resting that he's not going to go back into it. These 3 swords pointing down at him represent the battle or the conflict or the challenge, something he's been working hard at. And the one close by his sword, the sword close by his hand, is there should he need it. But for the time being, he's not engaged. This card often shows up when someone's feeling a bit maybe exhausted, sometimes tired, overwhelmed, needs to take a step back and rest and perhaps get a different perspective and seek out some insight, kind of taking a step back from any conflict or battle or challenge or body of work even that you've been doing, because I feel like a lot of you are working hard and will be continuing to work hard through the month of September. So when the Four of Swords comes up, cautionary advice or advice as guidance, there's almost always an element of maybe taking better care of yourself, particularly through the month of September. If you know you're going to be working a lot, maybe you're going to be working overtime, or there's just something you're putting a lot of effort into. When I say work or job, it doesn't necessarily mean a traditional 9-to-5 job that you clock into. Maybe you have your own business, or maybe you work from home, or maybe you're a homemaker, which is an endless full-time job in and of itself. When I say work, it represents whatever effort you are putting into your life to support your day-to-day life of yourself and any family or people that are dependent on you too. So make sure to kind of take a little bit of extra care with yourself during the month of September, Capricorn. So at the end of August, beginning of September, we have two major arcana cards. We have the High Priestess and the Fool. So the High Priestess is a card about intuition and your connection with the divine. The High Priestess is a quiet energy. As an individual, she would be a quiet, or he would be a quiet sort of person, because they observe everything. They're very connected to Source, God, Spirit, angels, and guides. And that actually is what intuition is. Some people call it the higher self. Some people call it their sense of knowing. Some people call it gut instinct. It's our intuition, which is the conduit or the cable by which we receive messages. So when the High Priestess shows up this month, it's always a good idea to pay attention to any dreams you have, any flashes of insight, any inclinations or thoughts that you keep returning to, because it's typically your intuition trying to tell you something, i.e. God, Spirit, your angels, and guides, divine timing and orchestration, and trusting in that, which can be difficult to do in the concrete world we live in. So it's about paying attention to your intuition, especially for the month of September. Any flashes of inspiration or insight you get, or any dreams, particularly if they're repeating ones. Now, what clarifies the High Priestess is the Fool, my favorite major arcana card. The Fool is just starting out. In fact, he has the 0 at the top of his card. It's the first major arcana card in the tarot. The Fool is about the space, the energetic space in between something ending and something beginning, because the Fool is getting ready to start out on a new journey. So in that in-between place where you haven't started yet, it's all about possibilities and potential. Anything's possible, everything's possible with the Fool. It's about new beginnings, and it's about exploring the possibility and potential of new beginnings. And it's also about perhaps stepping outside of your comfort zone, doing something maybe that you haven't done before, or in a way you haven't done it. Maybe something that you or other people might think is a little bit risky. Always a bit of cautionary advice with the Fool, because the Fool isn't concerned with how many socks he's packed for his journey, or if there's water in the pool before he jumps in. So we always want to make sure to have have one foot on the ground with the energy of the Fool, but it's beautiful energy. So new beginnings, potential and promise of new beginnings, maybe doing something different, stepping outside of your comfort zone, and trusting in your intuition to do that, because it's crowned by the High Priestess. So it feels like for a lot of you, maybe this is something you've been feeling already in August, but particularly as you're transitioning into September, it feels like there might be something that a feeling that you have maybe in your stomach, or an idea about doing something that you keep thinking about over and over again, or maybe you're even having dreams about it, and it has something to do with starting something new, doing something in a different way, stepping out of your comfort zone, off the beaten path, so to speak. And it could be too that you're feeling kind of tired. Maybe you've been working a lot, working too hard, or there could be another situation as represented by the Four of Swords. There could be another, some other kind of conflict or challenge going on in your life as well that has you feeling just kind of tired and a bit worn out. And at the end of August, beginning of September, intuition feels like it's compelling you or propelling you towards something, or to consider doing something different. What that different thing is, I'm not sure. There is a lot of energy here in the earth area of your life, so it could have something to do with job, work, career, etc., and your artistic or creative endeavors, or what you're doing to support your life. And it could be as well, some of you, well, let me get into the next set of cards. So next we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. So in the tarot, tens represent cycles ending, something coming to an end or coming to a culmination, an achievement point where it can transition into something else. The Ten of Pentacles used to be referred to as the inheritance card. So what does inheritance really mean? It represents a sense of present, right now abundance, as you can see from all the pentacles spilling out of this treasure chest. But it comes from the long, slow accumulation, the weight of history and effort and time that went into building it up so that we can have this sense of present abundance, which is what inheritance kind of means. But there's also a sense of completion here, and there's a strong connection, energy connection to home and family with the Ten of Pentacles. So it can represent family money, family business, family home, family estate. It can represent retiring, a successful retirement in relationship that represents a long-term, good, grounded, stable relationship or marriage. Again, family home, family property. Some of you might be retiring, or you might be, the High Priestess and the Fool might be propelling you to retire. You might have these feelings of maybe retiring from your job, or it could be that what you've been doing, job, work, career path, what you've been doing is you're tired of doing what you're doing and you're considering doing something else. There's just this feeling inside that's propelling you maybe towards to consider and think about what else you could do, or what may come beyond what you're doing. If you weren't doing what you were doing, what you're doing now, what else would you be doing? Some of you may be dealing with some inheritance energy, or there may be something about family estate or property or the division of assets of some kind. Now, what clarifies the Ten of Pentacles is the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is the card I like to refer to as the worker bee card. It represents working. It's the artisanship card. Working hard, maybe getting up early, staying up late. Maybe some of you have been burning the candles at both ends. It's about building up a slow, steady sense of abundance for yourself. It's about having a goal and working towards building up that foundation, that successful foundation for yourself, putting a lot of energy into detail, perseverance, determination. So it can represent working a lot, working repetitively, and it's clarifying the Ten of Pentacles. So it looks like, and again, this can be contributing to this sense of feeling, maybe tired towards the end of August and throughout September. And it could be, because I feel like for some of you, whatever it is, this effort, maybe it's just a job you've been working at for a long time, a career path you've been on for a long time, or something else that you've been plugging away at for a long time. It could be in different areas of your life, but there's so much Pentacles energy that I feel like for a lot of you, it's something to do with that earth energy part of your life. And it could be that there's something inside just pushing you to start something new or do something new and end whatever it is that you've been, kind of wearing yourself out doing. Some of you, it may be striking out on your own in some way, whether that's starting your own business or being more entrepreneurial, or for some of you retiring or doing something different than what you're doing. Maybe what you're doing isn't giving you the sense of independence. Maybe you're not getting the kind of, maybe you've been working very hard and you don't feel like you're getting the kind of empowerment and self-sufficiency and independence that you want. Because next we have the Nine of Pentacles with the Four of Pentacles. Yeah, and I'm also getting to that maybe around the second week or the middle of the month. Of course, in general readings, timing's always kind of fluid anyway. Some of you are bringing something to a close. I feel like some of you are definitively either ending a job or even an entire career path as well, where it's coming to an end. So the Nine of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is a card of independence, self-sufficiency, self-empowerment, being in a place that you're enjoying, as this woman is, enjoying the fruits of your labors, the fruits and the rewards of everything that you've worked hard for. It's a card about relying on yourself and being able to take good care of yourself without needing other people. Everything that you can see that is surrounding this woman that she's enjoying represent a sense of stability, solidity, maybe even abundance in finances and her surroundings and materialism. She's worked very hard for everything that she's currently enjoying. Nobody's handed anything to her or him on a silver platter. It's about loving who you are, the work you put into it, and where you're going. Whether or not you're single or not, it doesn't really matter. You're able to rely on yourself, and you don't need anybody else to provide this sense of abundance and security and happiness with your own life. Because sometimes it's known, I've heard it referred to as the happy, single, successful, the bachelor or bachelorette card. It doesn't really matter whether she or he is single or not. If they're not great, if they are great, if they want to be with somebody, they'll take their time because they're not doing it out of a sense of compulsive need. They're able to take care of themselves just great. And in a financial material way, in terms of job, it can represent, again, striking out on your own, entrepreneurial, or just, you've put a lot of work into your life and you're at a really good place with where you're at. Now, it's clarified with the Four of Pentacles, which is sometimes referred to as the miser card. In terms of dollars and cents, it can represent being frugal or economical, holding on to your finances or needing to hold on to your finances. Holding on to what you've built up. It can represent also a sense of stability or stagnation, depending on the surrounding cards, because fours can represent either stability, because four pillars is a stable foundation for things. It can also represent stagnation, holding on to what you have. It can sometimes represent holding on too tightly to what you have because you've lost in the past and you may be afraid to lose again. So clarifying the Nine of Pentacles. So whatever side of this, there's multiple storylines here. It's clear, as I always say in general readings, there's a lot of you watching. So the details and specifics are going to vary for those of you watching. But the energy fundamentally remains the same and the advice fundamentally remains the same. It's clear that a lot of you are feeling a bit tired as we end August and go through September. It's clear that a lot of you are working hard and or have been working hard for quite some time to build up this sense of stability, security, your home, your family perhaps, your 401k, everything that you've put into what you have now, working hard to build up that solid, stable foundation. Some of you, you've been saving and saving for a long time. You could perhaps have been saving for a home or paying off your home or getting close to paying off your home because of how hard you've worked, how long you've worked, and how smart you've been with what you do with your money as well. Because there is a sense of financial abundance and security here, and there is a sense of financial and material independence too, and really enjoying whether you're at, whether you're with a partner, you have a family, or it's just yourself. You're holding on to what you have. But I feel like it's, maybe caught up with you. Some of you, I think a lot of you at the end of August, beginning of September are feeling this desire, and maybe have been feeling this desire for quite some time to do something different, that it's time to do something different, but what to do. And I feel like you're continuing to work hard while that's kind of swirling around in your head. I don't really feel, there's no... I don't feel much in the way of conflict energy or challenge energy. I don't really see too much coming up, like, oh, it looks like this is happening and you have to deal with this and here's the advice. I'm not feeling a lot of that. I'm feeling just, it's just one of those months that looks like it's a continued amount of work, but that you're kind of tired and that you need to maybe take better care of yourself during September. Maybe get away for a little vacation if you can. And those of you who have been thinking about doing something different, ending what you're doing something different, doing it in a new way, striking out on your own, particularly if it has to do with being more independent and self-reliant, whatever your instincts, your intuition, these things that keep occurring to you that will just kind of won't let you go, thinking about maybe doing something new, something different outside of your experience or your comfort zone. Listen to that intuition because it's trying to tell you something. Now, at or towards the end of September 2018, we have a really interesting combination of cards. We have the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups. So I feel like for a lot of you, Capricorn, that the Six of Cups and this Two of Cups isn't really related to what else is going on in September. It feels like for a lot of you, it could be maybe you're going back into job after a vacation or back to school, or you're just getting back into a regular routine. You're working a lot. You need to take a little bit better care of yourself because some of you may be feeling tired. But there's nothing else, I see kind of cropping up as a challenge or a conflict. And then it looks like all of a sudden at the end of the month, you have the Six of Cups, which is a card about the past, nostalgia, reminiscence, childhood, parents, roots of origin, where you grew up, the cultures and traditions of how you grew up. It's a card strongly associated with the past. or you know, looking at something through rose-colored glasses, like when we were a child or when we were younger and had less cares and worries. It can also represent travel back to the past, like traveling to see your parents or relatives, or you know, a family reunion, or for some other reason, or where you grew up. Or even old friends from long ago or from the past. And it's clarified by the Two of Cups, which is the traditional soulmate card. Soulmates don't necessarily have to mean a romantic or sexual soulmate. They can be a best friend kind of soulmate, kindred spirits, that sort of connection. It is a karmic thread connection, and it can sometimes represent best friends that transition into a more of a romantic love sort of thing. So this is a classic combination, the Six of Cups. Oh, and Cups is also governed by the element of water. It's water energy, and this is the energy of our emotions and feelings and relationships. So the Six of Cups and the Two of Cups is a textbook classic combination about someone from your past coming up, so meeting somebody from your past kind of cropping up, or reconciling with someone from your past, or you traveling or they're traveling to see you. And it could be from your past. It might have been an old flame or an old romantic relationship from the past that is resurfacing again, or the person is resurfacing, whether it's romantic or best friends, or you know, really close old friends or something, towards the end of September. It could just be someone from your past that you knew or were close to, but you weren't maybe romantically involved with them. But I mean, it's just a classic combination of, you know, soulmate energy from the past, whether it's, you know, regardless of the type of soulmate energy it is, but it looks like it's coming in. Someone from your past is coming in one form or another. You guys are connecting in one way or another, whether it's unintentional or whether there's actual travel plans for this as well. This reconnection could be a reconciliation, or you know, restarting something from the past, or someone from the past coming up and starting something new again. And I don't feel like it really is related to, you know, the rest of what's going on for the month. And it doesn't look like, you know, it doesn't look like I'm not seeing anything jump out at me for September in a really big way, particularly in a negative or challenging way, other than, you know, there's been a lot of hard work going on and may continue to be. Take care of yourself, because I feel like some of you are feeling a bit drained. Some of you are definitely in that group of people who are thinking, it's time for me to do something different. I've been feeling for a while like I need to do something different. You may be exploring options, and you may already have something in mind. Pay attention to that. It's trying to tell you something and lead you somewhere. And then you have this energy from the past, and how it plays out. Well, it's at the very end of the month, so it's going to vary, you know, depending on what type of soulmate it is and how you guys are connecting, whether it's planned or whether this is a, you know, just a karmic intervention kind of occurrence as well. So it'll be interesting to see how that happens at the end of the month. So Capricorn, that pretty much wraps up your September 2018 general readings. I hope that you found it helpful or validating. I think it's going to be a pretty decent month for most of you. Just make sure not to, you know, to kind of take a little bit better care of yourself this month. Again, if any of you are interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be most happy to work with you and set up a reading as quickly as we can. I do love and romance, compatibility charting, reconciliation spreads, career, work, and finance, investment readings, 6 and 12 month overviews to take a look at what's coming in your life for the next 6 or 12 months, depending on how far ahead you want to look. Channeled messages from passed on loved ones. And I also offer gift readings and package readings, like if you want specific readings every 2 weeks or once a month, the kind of thing. So if you're interested, contact me, and we will go from there. And you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy for quick answers to quick, easy questions. I will see you all again, Capricorn, in a couple of weeks for the September 2018 mid-month readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.